Hi everyone, Emma here. So I have a bunch of things on my bead mat today, but what I want to show you is I am recycling an old belt and creating a beautiful bracelet with these gorgeous quartz. Let me see what the name of this quartz. I got these, actually I wrote free on it, so it must have been buy one, get one free. Let's see what it's called. Alabaster quartz crystal nuggets. These are really gorgeous. They have, depending on how the light hits it, like a prismatic rainbow effect. So they're really pretty. And again, sticking with the boho chic theme, I thought this kind of rough looking leather would create an awesome kind of look. So let's take a look at what I started with. I got this belt from the Salvation Army store. So this is the belt, and of course I saw these pieces and I was like totally mesmerized by it. Now I'm not sure if this is real leather. Let me see. Genuine leather, made in Italy. Wow, that is awesome. So I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with these pieces yet. I would like to use like these, what do they call them? Studs, I guess, along with the pieces. So I kind of don't want to take them apart, but you know what? They're not exactly the same as that. But anyway, so that's an aside. So what I did was I cut off the piece of the belt that didn't have any of these so that I could start using this really interesting, it looks like they coated it with some type of white paint and then did this crackling effect. So it's really neat. Um, it you might think that it would be rough, but actually it's kind of soft. So, and this leather is really interesting too. It's quite soft. So I've been collecting a bunch of recycled belts, and I wanted to make leather bracelets with them. I wanted to create like a straight, even line, and I know there's tools for that. So I managed to get this on Amazon, and let me see, it was $17 for this. Yeah, I think that's, and it came with the blades. So it came with a bunch, 3 blades in a case as well. So you might think, what on earth is this? It is, they call it a leather lace cutter or an Australian strander belt cutting machine. Hand cutter is another name for it. And there's different styles of this. And initially I was a bit confused where to put the blade. But believe it or not, there's a video on YouTube that shows you how to use this. So it shows you how to set it up and how to use it. So if that's something you're interested in, you can definitely take a look. So I'll just show you with the strips that I have left. So the belt width gave me 3 strips. One of the strips, of course, has the holes for the belt, and I am definitely going to use those holes for some other application. But basically you take your leather, imagine this is one piece, and then you have your blade in there, and let me see, you do it on this side. So you slide, you can see there's like a little roller here, and there's a ledge, and this ledge you can change the width of it with this dial. So you can make it narrower or wider. So I just put that in there, and I think this was the leftover piece. You can see it's a little wider than the other. So let's do it this way. So as if this is one piece, you just put it in there, and it unbelievably, you hold on to it and pull your, you have to get it started, but you pull your leather through. I must have adjusted the thing again. You pull your leather through and it cuts it just perfectly. So that's how I got that. So let's move on from there. Just an aside. And yeah, so I went ahead and I've measured this out so that I have a 7.5 inch bracelet. So I took my brown marker and marked it, and I did it with the brown marker so that I can see it when I'm looking for it, but once the bracelet is cut and I mark the midpoint, then you don't see that. There's other things you can use, a chalk pencil or charcoal, white charcoal or something like that, and then just wipe it off, or even a lead pencil and erase it off if you don't want to see it, or you could take a piece of tape and mark it. So there's a couple of ways to do it. So to get the leather to fit inside this area here, I narrowed the edge a bit. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we'll start stringing these guys on. So let's take a look back at my markings. I have let me move this down a bit so you can see. So this is my cutting block, and I use this for putting in snaps and stuff like that. It's rubber block and then a nylon block. So the nylon block is hard so you can work things, and the rubber is to stop the sound of the pounding hammer. So let's grab. So I put 2 marks. So this mark is where I'm going to cut. Let's get this in. There we go. So this is where to cut, and this is where we're going to narrow it to fit into our clasp. And I got these. There's 2 of them. I haven't even opened the second one. One's a rounded edge and one's a flat edge. I got these on AliExpress, and it actually came with a canvas case. Incredible. And they are super sharp. So all you do is find your mark there. That looks a bit crooked, so I'm going to straighten it out a bit. And I'm going to cut it there. And this is so sharp, the pressure from my hand is enough to cut it. Just wiggling it back and forth. Look at how amazing is that. That's crazy. And so I didn't even need my hammer for that. So there is our second mark. I'm going to put a light pressure just to go down a bit. Let's see how far I got there. I need to go further. It's a bit open. I think I'll probably need a little bit more. The other part to this, let's get the second side of this clasp. You can see the hole is a bit narrow compared to the size of this. So we need to cut some away from the edge. So let's do that right now. And my recommendation would be to do a bit at a time on each side and keep adjusting it. So let's get that in there. And since I did the other one, I kind of know where it's at. So I'm going to just eyeball it here. And cut that off. Like that. Let's turn this around. Cut this edge off. And just be careful, this tool is really sharp, as you can see. So let's see. It won't fit in because you can see that's super thick and that's super thin. So, but at least we can get an idea of where it's gonna. So that looks like, actually I think that's gonna fit in. So now we're just gonna narrow this a bit. And what I did on this side is I narrowed this top side. I don't think it really matters, but I think I'm going to go with the top side again just so that you get that same kind of brown line that I had happening. So we're just going to go here, and I'm going to bring my tool to the edge where I had the initial cut. And this is kind of variable, it doesn't have to be totally perfect. So I'm going in on an edge, and I'm just wiggling my tool, and we're going to go a bit narrow as we go further. That, and there. Let's clean that up a bit. See, it narrowed it. And let's see how far that goes in. I'm pretty sure it's going to need quite a bit more. And you can do the other side as well. I'm going to continue. I'm going to do another little bit with this. See if I can get this edge a little deeper, and then take it on an angle. Just watch your fingers. Don't stick your fingers in there like I do. I am gonna just come the other way and see if I can get them to go together. There. And I should be able to cut this piece off. Let's see if we can get that. There. And see what we have. And that is perfect. So let me make sure my clasp is on the correct way. Like that. And there. There, so we can put this stuff aside. These little pieces here. And we're going to glue this. I'm just going to set that in the position that it's in so I don't get it confused. And a little piece of paper here with some glue and a toothpick and the E6000. I love this stuff, although I find that my tube gets dried out a bit, but it still glues really well. And if you let this cure overnight, it will not come apart. I did a bracelet video maybe a year ago, and the leather wasn't really like tight inside, and I thought, oh, that's never gonna stick. The next morning I went and I checked, and it was really tight, so I thought, well, let me try to tighten as hard as I can and see what happens. I could not get it out at all. So this stuff is amazing. And the smell is not too bad. I use like GS Hypo, I find is really disgusting. But I mean, that stuff works really well too. So this is how we had it. I keep putting it down when it's got the glue on. So this will push some of that glue, so just kind of wiggle it in. And then take your toothpick and clean it up. And when you're cleaning it, roll it towards you, and it will pull that glue up. There. And don't forget the back. So I'm going to push that and roll it up. I'm going to use my clean side of my toothpick and make sure I got all the last little bits. You see how nice that cleans it up. Let's see if we can do the same on this side. Get some of this glossy And if it does dry, like it's kind of getting a little sticky on that, once it's dry, you just rub your finger and it actually kind of gets like balled up and peels right off. Like that. Just gotta watch if you have some on your hand. I'm just gonna make sure I got it on the right side before it sets. And there, so that's ready to go. Just gonna see if I can get that a little snugger. Okay, so let's put some crystals on here. So I'm gonna use the dragon thread because I don't want to see my thread through the holes. The holes are at the top of these crystals. You can kind of see the hole itself, but I think once I get this attached, I'm gonna add some seed beads, 50 seed beads. I just paused there because I'm looking at this. This does not look centered, and I did measure it. Let me see. I wonder if what I did was no, it's in the center. You can see my line. I think it's just the way the clasp sits. Sometimes it looks off. And that's maybe because this side is longer than the other side. Okay, so let's we don't need a super long strand, but I do want to leave some in case I want to put the seed beads on there. So cut a piece. I'm using a really rigid needle because to get through this leather. Now, I tested it, you can get this needle through this leather on its own. You do need like a tool, pliers to pull it through. But if you're concerned about your needles and you want to make this easy, what I did was I used this pin drill, and you can get this on Amazon for $10, and it comes with all different size bits. So I did leave one hole open to show you. I'm trying to see, I think it's this hole here. So I marked my holes with my awl, and you can actually go through the leather with your awl as well. So if you don't have one of these, yeah, I think those ones I went through, and then let's see if this one. So you just take these are really cool. The bottom part turns. So when you turn it like this, it's sitting at the bottom of your palm. So you can actually just turn it and keep it steady. And you want to add a bit of pressure to get through. Because the holes I created with the bead reamer was just basically marking. I didn't actually go through. So, but these pin drills are amazing. It's almost there. So just keep your fingers out of the way so you don't jam it into your fingers. And just add a bit of pressure here. There. And just wiggle your bit backwards out. Good. And there's your holes. And what I did was I picked a section of this strand that I got at Walmart where I felt like it was going on a natural angle. And so I've picked these four. Now I've added the holes accordingly because like this one here is quite a bit thicker than the others. So I don't think it matters too much because even if you did a narrow hole, your thread is going to go around the crystal anyway. So, but let's cut this off here. And I'm going to cut it in order just so I keep the order that I want. So I'm going to set those aside for another project, and I'm just going to hang on to these, and that's what we're going to put on. So let's thread our needle. That's, I was thinking maybe I do two double strand, but I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to put a stop bead, because I'm not sure how I want to tie it at the back. No, you know what? The first crystal, I will hide the knot inside the crystal. So let's start with this side here. Go through, and you can see that went through really easy. Let me put my crystal on first. And I want to keep it on the way that I have it. I can't see the hole. Like that. There. Okay, I know what I need to do. Let's put that back. Let's come through the back of the first hole, then add the crystal. So, you know, sometimes when I do these videos, I've never done it before. I'm like, I had an idea. You know, when I say to my wife that I had an idea, she's like, oh gosh. She gets very worried. So now I do it to you guys. I had an idea. So you get to see me do some crazy stuff. Okay, so we strung that on, and I'm just going to hang on to that. We're going to come back around and tie this. Oh, this is going to look amazing. What? I think I'm going to be doing a few of these. Okay, so now let's... I kind of wanted the knot to be in there, not at the back. You know what? Let's pull it through. There. And then this. Come through this hole. That will weigh, like, we have more space inside the crystal to create a knot. And I still want the bracelet to be comfortable on your hand. So I don't know if you notice, my hands are really shaky, and I'm in my 3rd week after my radiation therapy, and they mentioned that's when I'd get my side effects, and one of the side effects is exhaustion. And that's all they tell you. They don't tell you a whole lot. And I, you know, when I was trying to do some bike rides, I was really noticing, I'm going to do another knot. I was really noticing my hand or my arms and legs being shaky. So I'm really noticing today trying to do videos. So that seems like that knot's pretty secure. So I'm just going to clip that thread. And we're going to go through this again. Just go through here. This is really, this is amazing. Okay, and we're going to go through the back, and we'll go around this crystal again, and then we'll add the next one. And actually we could add the seed beads now, but you know what, I think maybe we should do the seed beads separate so that they're not structural, and that way it won't do anything. I can see the knot there. Let me see if I can pull that through. There we go. Heard it snap into place. So let's get through this again. As I was getting this ready, I already have another design idea for this leather. I think I might be like hitting the knot. So I just want to be careful not to undo it. I think I hear my wife. I wanted to do the video while she was out grocery shopping, and then I started so late that she's already on her way back. And my job is putting away the groceries, or at least helping. So I guess I won't be helping this time. So now the thread's coming out this piece here. So I think what I want to do is come through this hole and add the second crystal. Go in the opposite direction. Grab the next one. And remember, we're coming from the opposite, so we're going to go through the opposite hole. You can see, my hand, that is so strange for me to have my hands shaky like that. And I must be hitting some leather. Get this straightened out here. There. Oh, I'm kind of surprised it's turning out nicer than I even expected. The hole placement, initially I put the holes in the middle, which I knew right away when I did it that's not what I wanted to do, because I want these to sit centered and the holes are at the top. So that nice and snug. Go through here and just see if I can get my needle where I need it, and then just open this up a bit through here. I don't know about the silver beads. Like, this looks amazing just like this. Okay, so now we're going to go through the next hole. Through. And add the next crystal. I think the hole, where's the, okay. Yeah, I don't know that I want this part at the front, so let's do it this way. I'm sure anyway is going to look amazing. So it's not sitting flat because it's kind of on an angle, but we'll see what we can do. So I guess it wasn't my wife. She usually heads upstairs and wants to tell me about all the goodies she bought me at the grocery store. So we talk about what it's like for me to go to the grocery store because, first of all, she does all the grocery shopping. So my princess status is intact. I hate grocery shopping. And now that I do keto, I eat maybe 4 items. I eat eggs, chicken, salad, and mayo. I use mayo to supplement my fat intake because a lot of the meat that we eat is pretty lean and I need more fat. So it's been that part I enjoy because I've always loved mayo. So, but, okay, let's in the way. So yeah, that one's not sitting the way. I think once we get the next one in, it will sit the correct way. So let's just go through here. I think what I'll do is I will, now I hear her now. I was going to say what I'll do is I'll add the seed beads, and then the next video I'll just do one without. But since she's here, I think I'll do this one because we are done after this. And see if I can get through that hole. I may not have, yeah, I did. I was wondering if I actually drilled through this hole. It's not going through very well. There we go. So yeah, when we were talking about going to the grocery store, I'm like, I don't know about you when you go through the grocery store, if sometimes it's fun because you're like, oh, let me get some chips or let me get some cookies, or I go to the grocery store and it's like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I got my lettuce, I'm done. Got my eggs, I'm done. So we were talking about that. I said, yeah, I'm really kind of bored when I go through the grocery store, and I've been doing it for over 3 years now, so I don't even look at the aisles and think, oh, it'd be nice if I could have that. I don't even think that way. The funny part is there's certain aisles that I think I'm kind of not disgusted by, but think, I can't believe I ate that stuff. And one of the aisles is the cereal aisle. And I think about it now, trying to be healthy, and I'm like, there's just no way. This hole is, I wonder if this hole is on a bit of an angle. Let me move my needle around. See if I can get it through. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with that hole. So yeah, the hole in this crystal is very narrow and at the top, but it's looking amazing. So we'll just go through that a few more times. That'll be that. So I'll make another one with the seed beads. See what that looks like, because I have a incredible hard time deciding about the next step in something. So I have an idea. I'm like, okay, let me put this. And then I go to do it. I'm like, I don't know if I want that there. So I need your help. Seed beads or no seed beads? This is awesome. Okay, it needs a little bit more securing here. Through that hole. Through here. I'm going to go down through this hole. There. And then I'm going to come through here, put a knot, and go through the crystal. So let's hook onto a piece of thread here. You don't have to do all of them. Just one piece like that. Grab your thread and wrap it around twice on that needle. Pull it down. Hold your finger there so the knot doesn't slide, but it probably did. And pull. Bring it through the crystal to kind of cinch the knot and to pull it in through that. And actually, I think what I might do, I'm noticing they are flipping a bit, so I think I'm going to go through all of these to gather them together. I might have to do this in a... because they're at different levels here. I get this. Here, let's do one at a time here. And don't hook it under there. I'll slide it together. Get the next one in. Get that through here. And you could use thicker fire line or dragon thread. So that's actually holding them together. So let's get this last one. Pull through. I'm going to go through the hole. And if I can get in this, there we go. Pull it tight. There, that's nice and tight. So let's pull it through here. I'm going to hide the knot in one of these crystals. Let's see what I can come up with here. Put that through and wrap it twice. Pull it through and go through this crystal. That'll cinch the knot and it'll hide the knot. So you can see the knot and there it's gone. And just cut this. There is this lovely bracelet. Just make sure this is all nice and secure. And like that. And there is this lovely bracelet. That turned out amazing. So there's so much you can do with this. You can leave it just delicate plain like this, or you could add I'll do another one and I'll add these lovely little 50 seed beads across each of these crystals here. But I also think you could probably do some beading, maybe some picot style beading along here as well. Attach it to the leather. So that's another option. So that's what that looks like. There we go. Let me see how that looks. Oh yeah. Very nice. Thank you for joining me. This was fun. Super easy. And even with all that work, it's still only 40 minutes. And this is, a lot of stuff that you can get. Love that you can get these at Michael's. And you know what? They have a 50% off sale. They're strung beads. So take a look. Take care, everybody. Bye.